Hello everyone, I just wanted to say hello. I haven't seen you guys in a while, you haven't seen me. I don't know what to say, so I'm just gonna let my PNG do the talking on one of these sides. Maybe over there. Thank you.
Hello everyone, very quickly, I just wanted to say thank you very much for all the support on my Backrooms video. It ended up being my newest highest viewed video of all time. So I just wanted to say thank you all very much, especially since I was gone for a couple months. But now we're back with a new video on a different topic, LORT. What is LORT and why am I talking about it? LORT is a 1 to 8 player co-op action roguelite game that is currently in early access. Question 1. What is LORT? Answer. Question 2. Why am I talking about it? Well, because it's a fun game. Now wait, this isn't a sales pitch. Unless... I don't think they're going to want to talk to me after some of the talking points later in the video. Anyways, let's get to talking about the title and why LORT might be your next 2-day grind that you'll never touch again. LORT is a short 5-level campaign where you and some friends have to travel across the land slaying different creatures and gathering loot in order to be strong enough to defeat the big bad at the end of each level. You get to play as any of the 4 adventurers currently available. Let me blitz through these and hopefully you find your type. Astrid Glitzgore, sword fighter and tanky playstyle. She yells. Cliff Bowman, he's a bowman and he throws a tree at enemies. Bernie Blazington, he's a mage who likes fire and has a staff that can launch hollow purples at enemies. Lastly, my favorite, Croaks Malone. This guy just has so much aura, look at him. He can kick, he can teleport. He also hits you with the... Each of these characters excel in 3 different categories: strength, agility, and intelligence. You want to pay attention to these, as when you're out exploring, you want to prioritize which camps and statues you want to be pursuing. With the introduction complete, let me explain to you what the game will look like for you. The campsite. This area is going to be where you select your characters and purchase some upgrades, as well as choose your mission, but before you start seeking a fight, let me introduce you to the whole reason you're doing this. This is Stuart.
Hi, how are you?
He's making soup. You gotta steal ingredients from the bosses of each level so he can make some goop and poop, just don't give me a scoop. Now we can get into the actual gameplay. I'll only be talking about the first area, but the rest of the levels function the same, just with different enemies. Once you've selected which quest you want to do, hop aboard the flying van and this bird will take you over to World 1-1, Hilly Billy Countryside. Now I honestly don't remember if the game explains what you're supposed to be doing on your first playthrough, but I'll give you a quick one anyway. Your main goal is pretty simple depending on which quest you chose. If you chose Goblin Appetizer, your main objectives are destroying these campsites and completing these trials. And if you chose Track and Whack, all you've got to do is track down 2 of the mini-bosses on the map and defeat them in order to unlock the boss area. That's all the quests available, and it's pretty much summarized the whole objective of the game. So I know how this may look at first, Friendslop game that'll be over in an hour or 2. But let's talk about the gameplay features that make the game truly interesting. Weapons, abilities, and items. As we talked about before, each character excels in their own respective categories, but so do the weapons. Whilst the game kind of implies that you should be using a specific class of weapons, you can actually choose any weapon you find and start building a loadout around it. For example, I like to use Croak Malone, and in his character information we can see that he excels in agility, and the way they describe how you should be playing him is that you should be moving in and out of a fight with his movement and invisibility. But how I like to play him is by gathering a whole bunch of healing and attack speed perks. The reason for this is because the daggers that he starts off with are so broken. They have a decent attack speed to start off with, but after stabbing enough times, you charge a special high damage crit attack that can almost insta-kill anything early on. Also, with the fact that Croak's got a low amount of health for someone who plays close range, let's give him higher health perks as well as health siphon perks, so that way he can tank hits and not have to leave the battle to use a potion. And for his invisibility, I just save that for if my friend dies or if I get too ahead of myself. Now that is the main way that I play him, but I also like to use this magic sword that scales with intelligence. So instead of only looking at agility upgrades, I also collect intelligence when I get the chance. That way I can still launch these really cool waves of magic and continue to stab everything in the way. There are many different classes and ways to play, so I'll let you discover all of them for yourself. For this next part, I do want to talk about some things that are kind of weak in the game, as well as what I want to see for possible future updates. Although this may seem irrelevant to a new player, you may still want to hear this, as it will hopefully inform you on why you may not want to buy the game. Not to drag this part on for too long, but just wanted to mention that this game is made by a very small team of like 7 people, so please be patient with them, and if for some reason someone on their team ends up watching this video, I don't mean to be rude, I just want to give some honest feedback. I love the game. There's actually like zero lore in this game. Now this shouldn't be top priority whatsoever, and I understand that not every game needs a heavy story, but I really think the game can benefit from a bit more detail in the story to make it more interesting. From the top of my head, I could probably name like all the parts that have any form of story, the 4 lines of text when you open the game, the summary of on the quest board, and the final level. Attention, anyone who has made it to the final level. Please do not spoil it for anyone who's just getting into the game, please, because the developers just want to keep it a secret, so please be respectful even if it's nothing too crazy. I also want to talk about weapons. There are an okay amount of weapons here, but most of them scale with strength. Like, I was playing as Mr. Malone, and I was waiting like the entire game to find a higher rarity dagger, but I just kept getting a bunch of swords and hammers. I was also disappointed to see that there were only one set of daggers. I was hoping to find something similar to the daggers, like a pair of kunais with a new moveset, but unfortunately those are yet to be seen. I also want to mention one more thing about the daggers that's kind of a personal request. They have a secondary fire that allows you to throw them and teleport to its location. Now whilst it's good for movement, maybe for the next dagger style weapon, you can keep the teleport ability, but for some reason I envisioned like a Naruto Minato kunai ability where you could throw the dagger at the enemies and it automatically starts a chain reaction hitting nearby enemies. Somewhat similar to the Scorpion Talisman. Just an idea that I really wanted to throw out there. Lastly, voice acting.
Wakey wakey.
We are not doing that.
This kind of ties into the story criticism. This game does have voice acting, but you wouldn't really know unless you press. Once again, there's no need in pushing this ASAP, but I do think it can benefit as long as it's not overly used and able to be toggled on and off. Now, if you're looking for some voice actors, then I may know a guy who would like to audition for the next character.
Ooh, I'm on a rampage now. You said tonight.
Maybe even an existing character. Hopefully you all like this video. It's kind of a short one. Once again, this isn't sponsored whatsoever. I just like this game enough to recommend it to people. Also wanted to say great job to everyone working on the game. You guys are doing amazing. Even if I said a couple of things that sounded negative, please hit me up with the next Croak Malone script. I'll be waiting.